So this is shocking. I have been seeing so many videos on the internet about Diddy and Lauren London and how they were messing around, and it honestly made me really sad because I was someone who loved the Lauren London and Nipsey Hussle relationship. Especially after seeing them in like their couple interview, like they just looked so in love. And realizing now like there's so much evidence and so many people accusing Lauren London of having like relationship with Diddy while she was in Nipsey Hussle, and that she was the reason why he died. But this is a short clip of just like Diddy's interaction with this Nipsey Hussle that I found very, it was really weird. Like, even people in the comments. Let me show you guys first. See, that video was really strange to me because they look like they're probably recording.
As being an
They're
entrepreneur,
definitely recording a song, but Diddy's eyes, like, they just look very, very lustful towards Nipsey Hussle, and Nipsey Hussle just looks like he's so far gone. Like, he's probably like really high on a drug or drinking. I do not know. I think there was like this comment on TikTok that I kind of found funny. It was saying he didn't hate Nipsey Hussle. He wanted Nipsey. And then this other girl said Diddy was lusting over him. Someone said that zoom in was sus. It was very weird. It would look he gave like a very lustful expression towards Diddy. These are a few people who an interview at a podcast. I believe it was a table podcast where they were speaking on the situation.
About Lauren London for a second.
What about her?
She fine? What about her?
No, man. No, Lauren London ain't the innocent little princess everybody tries to claim that she is, man.
So there's a conspiracy theory, right? There's a conspiracy theory that Lauren London of course, knew Diddy way before she met Nipsey, and then she introduced Nipsey to Diddy, and was like they were plotting a whole thing against him.
I don't believe that shit.
I mean, listen.
What happened to Nip is some street shit. It ain't got nothing to do with Diddy.
That we know of.
Well, how come he was with
that
girl?
We know of.
He was with what's the girl we was just talking about?
But listen,
last week?
like, so people are pulling up a lot of stuff, like even at the funeral, you know. Of course, you can't tell people how to grieve, right? They're saying, "Oh, she didn't cry," blah blah blah. She could be crying behind closed doors, right? Whatever. She could be crying behind closed doors. Like it could just be simply that.
Yeah, no, I'm
seeing
all. It's coming out. And the videos are dropping, D.
Yeah, what is they dropping? Just being friends? What are you guys?
They're dropping on some freaky shit.
What is freaky shit?
It's coming.
It's
coming, goddammit.
All right. These are obviously just folks who enjoy plotting and expressing it. However, I find it intriguing since I believe that many conspiracies come to pass. Not all of them, but particularly with regard to Diddy and Hollywood, as well as celebrities. Well, more people are speaking out against it. This is Jaguar Wright, who has likewise been exposing Hollywood to the utmost extent possible. She is similar to Cat Williams in this regard, as if she doesn't give a damn. As if there were no mercy at this moment. In her head. And it seems to me that now is the right moment for it. You see, everything has its time, and the moment is now for evil to be revealed. And Jaguar Wright is speaking out in support of it.
Suspect is she's a Diddy bop.
Hey, Lauren, I crack you up.
And she lined up Nip, and I don't give no if today is her 40th birthday. You want to know who ain't having a birthday? Nip! You greedy. I knew something was off when he passed away, but when I saw her do that hit piece on Nip, sitting with Angie Martinez.
I mean, I respect you.
And talking about it wasn't all what it was cracked up to be.
Relationships are hard.
Absolutely.
Right? And so
mine was.
And people saw one thing, but really it was another.
It was
very hard. Hell yeah.
Because we make it like a fantasy in our heads.
No.
Like you guys had the perfect relationship. You want.
I have another perspective on relationships, and you don't want to have that conversation with me.
Yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. And I said, I tell you one thing. Nip was up, and she had his baby. She better get her together.
You see, there are a lot. These are only a handful of the videos that are available online. And it just didn't get uncovered because at first, we all believed that they were rumors and that individuals were only vying for attention, even with R. Kelly. Subsequently, we gradually begin to see that there is a substantial amount of evidence against them. Furthermore, I'm curious as to why Lauren London is suddenly being held accountable for Nipsey Hussle's death. It's intriguing because while I can't recall precisely what he said, Andrew Tate once claimed that a man's death is always linked to his girlfriend. In a sense, it's always related to the lady he's seeing. The more you see Hollywood, the more you realize how everyone is related to one another and how well known they are. This makes it fascinating. And while I find it somewhat depressing, I also believe it's incredible that this generation is beginning to call out the wickedness and that God is using a large number of influencers and vocalists to expose Hollywood's iniquity. Because earlier, when I was younger, we used to be so affected, wanting to be like Hollywood celebrities, wanting to be like influencers. Now, however, it is the reverse. As of right now, we wish to be different. We no longer wish to be as shallow or conceited as these Hollywood stars. Instead, we want to be more. Although they were once our inspirations, we are now speaking out against evil. However, I would want to caution everyone that everyone will ultimately be revealed, as will all wickedness in this world. And occasionally, we admire others. Relationships. Nipsey Hussle and London's Don are role models for us, but they are not as perfect as they appear. It truly isn't. Like, people who are married, have enduring relationships, and have healthy partnerships are the ones we ought to aspire to. And one of the reasons I believe Diddy dislikes Nipsey Hussle and may have killed him is because, although this is just a theory, people online have been speculating Nipsey Hussle discovered what Diddy was up to, figured out the trafficking ring he was attempting to run, and was going to expose him, which is why he was killed. And it didn't sit well with Diddy. I take it that Diddy doesn't want males that are out of his control. Many people dislike that, so they either get rid of them or avoid them altogether. However, Diddy got rid of him since he's a bad man. And this is only a reminder that retribution will always occur, whether it happens in a few years or, in a few weeks. That all wickedness will eventually be revealed, and that God's wrath will always arrive. According to Luke 8:16 in the Bible, no one lights a lamp and conceals it beneath a bed or in a clay jar.
They know me as being an
Rather,
entrepreneur.
they place it on a stand so that visitors
they know me for something
may view the light, and we are the world's light. That's what they mean when they say that we are the world's light. Jesus is discussing it, huh? He continues, however, by saying, "There is nothing secret that will not be revealed, and nothing hidden that will not be known or made public." Thus, pay close attention to how you listen. Furthermore, this phrase essentially states that all will be revealed in due time. In one way or another, everything will become clear. It might happen in 10 years, perhaps in 20 years. It might happen in a century. However, nothing in this world, nothing at all, and no wrongdoing that goes unpunished will ever come to light, since God will finally bring everything to light, especially on the day of judgment, and evil will exact its retribution. There will be retribution for the evil that has been done to the earth, and Diddy will be held accountable for his actions against innocent people, despite the fact that he may have been freed on a number of counts. And as individuals, we must comprehend that, have faith in God in that, and keep exposing the evil. we must also continue to reject these celebrities, not buy into their music or merchandise, not buy into their influence over the public, and stand apart and allow only Jesus to be our real influence. So exercise extreme caution. You people need to exercise extreme caution these days, because evil will be revealed. Therefore, watch who you listen to. A large number of these celebrities, Hollywood actors, singers, and stars, are related. And for that reason, I no longer pay attention to anyone. No, I don't. Even Nipsey Hussle made me think, dang, I used to love Nipsey Hussle while I watched or listened to these videos. His tunes were the kind I would listen to while working out at the gym, you know. However, I feel like I've become more accustomed lately to just wanting to listen to praise music and music that is appropriate for God. Because, well, you're not really sure what are they up to behind closed doors, and you don't want to be involved or condone that. Even when you play songs on Spotify, you are supporting these artists. Thus, you don't want to spend your money on it. For this reason, I banned Travis Scott entirely on Spotify when the entire incident surfaced. I think, I'm not going to listen to this guy. I understand that it might not have a significant impact on his millions or billions of wealth, but it's still a difference. It's just a few pennies. Furthermore, I'm not attempting to help these influencers or celebrities in any way, as if they won't have any impact on me. Additionally, I create these films with the sincere hope that they won't sway you because evil will be shown. Every evil that exists in this world and every evil that is carried out in the open will be revealed. And I'm grateful for it.